What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to Small Biz. In today's video, we're going to talk about Nvda, who reports after the bell tonight with SMCI and free fall. Last trade, $400 a share. So the obvious question of this day is, what in the world happens if they miss or guide lower? And if they actually beat and raise for the sixth time, should you sell and where? All that and more coming right up. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the private Discord community, 422 strong. Thank you very much for your support. This is one of our guys, Tony. Bloody Terrific Coffee, dropbearcoffee.com. An Aussie who migrated to San Diego. He serves the Camp Pendleton area. Thank you very much for those who have helped make this country great. And the 47th president of the United States, who's already served, is going to make it even motherfucking greater. We all know that. Give me that red tie. You fake news, motherfuckers. Got the cackler flip-flopping all over the place. Oh, yeah, I want to build a wall now. Oh, really? You want to grab him by the pussy, too? You want to do some of that, Kamala? Comrade? Whatever the fuck they call you? Life is short. When you bury both your grandparents, actually all of them, and both of your parents, you're rounding second, heading to third, and you're going to do a Pete Rose head first into home base. Let it go. Let it fucking go. Jason, quit complaining about the 100 and some odd people and the 10 grand a month that they flush down the toilet for you. The fact that you can only add small $200-$300 at a time when it used to be 10 times that. Let it go. You're right. I need to work on that. But for all you in the Discord, and maybe one or two of you that are on the fence, go to shopsmallbiz.com, get a Discord if you don't have a Small Biz Premium if you do. If you're in the Discord, now is the time to build out our directory. So I need you to send me 3 things, and then I'm going to talk about Nvda, Muln, and maybe even some Crkn at an all-time low, $1.70 a share. DM me inside the Discord. 1, 3 keywords that represent your business. Bloody Terrific Coffee. 2, your website. 3, a few sentences and no more than that about what you want me to focus on when I promote you over the next 3, 6, 12 months and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not just about social media, even though we're cranking up our tweeting on X. It's at Shop Small Biz USA. And once again, we will be on the YouTube community page, aka Home Wall. It's about getting inside the community with 400 plus people, soon to be 500, which is our max capacity, who really care about you and your family. Right over here, Todd Holton's Rustic Flags. And by the way, I moved my desk back a little, if you can tell. He sold thousands of dollars worth of flags. He's going to sell thousands more. I've got some ideas of where I'm going to promote these folks, not only in these videos, not only with the help of AI and ChatGPT, but a few other things. I will move heaven and motherfucking earth to do what I can to get you in front of thousands of people that have never heard of what it is that you do. Holton's Rustic Flags. Tell them Todd, it's Todd, and tell him this motherfucker right here sent you. Dropbearcoffee.com. I get the gum tree and the kangaroo. By the way, we've lost at least a third of our audience, either because of what I had to say about Kamala. You got to admit that was kind of funny. Or that I'm not getting to the point. I'm done getting to the point. You know why I'm done getting to the point? Because I know there's a 99.9% chance you freeloaders that have got your unlubricated thumb stuck so far up your ass that you're actually picking your nose, right? You're getting out that goober that's been hanging for the last few hours. There's little to no chance you're going to do what I've been telling you for the last 12 months. 129 and 2. You're just here to see what I have to say about Muln, the Crkn, and of course Nvda if you're long or short. But for those of you that are in the Discord, as I've already shared a half a dozen videos inside today, pay attention to what I'm about to tell you. It's no secret I believe in an 80-20 rule of investing to trading. 80% or thereabouts, in my opinion, of your money should be indexed to the market. Index funds, if you're afraid of your own shadow, you got no discipline, you dollar cost average into those funds. In the same motherfucking account and or the same motherfucking broker, you have 20 or 30%, no more than that typically, trading. We own 7 core holdings. I suggest you not own any more than 10 individual stocks. Why? It's too much to follow and you'll get watered down. You'll be more like an index fund. You've already got that. But instead of being the people right now, oh my God, what if Nvidia misses? And there's a strong possibility based on the Hindenburg report that they fucking crush that stock in SMCI, that the same thing is going to happen in Nvidia. And at a minimum, it's going to go down and fill those gaps at 105 to 102. Last trade, 125 on the nose. And while I'm at it, if it does gap up on decent guidance and earnings at 140, an all-time high, you better be prepared to pull the fucking ripcord. Because you remember when Meta did that, and then they slammed the stock in the next week down $50. We are a buy the rumor, sell the motherfucking news market right now. And there's absolutely no room for error. However, if you have 80 or 70, or in my cases, which is very aggressive, 65% indexed in SPY, QQQ, and IWM, that's 2,600 companies in 3 easy to manage instruments. You don't have to worry about what happens with Nvidia. If the magnificent 7, of which it is one, continue to melt up for the next 10 years and drag the other 493 in the S&P higher, great. But what if it doesn't happen? What if we go through a rough patch as we are right now in small caps, and this too shall pass? Then if you have the index, 1 individual, 2 individual, 3 stocks are not going to wreck you. It is a known fact that only 10% of fund managers and investors beat the S&P 500 every year. So if something is that difficult to beat, you might as well join it. Again, index funds and ETFs, if you have no discipline and you're scared of your own shadow, if you like to buy before and after the market as I do, and you have some level of discipline, again, it must be in the same broker. The people that are all fucking running their mouth and burying me, claiming that I'm all sorts of this, that, and the other, are not listening to what I fucking tell them to do. Because here's the deal. If you had 70% in the index funds, which are at all-time highs with the Dow and the S&P, maybe within 1% or 2 right now, and you had 30% in the 7 core holdings we have, if you had one stock, let's take Crkn, let's say it goes to 0. There is no bounce. It's not going to get off its back at 170. It's going to go all the way to 0, chapter 11, out of business. Well, we also say inside of our Discord, in the disclaimer, the welcome video, and I don't know how many times, 1,000 or more that I've said it, you put 10 to 15%, and again, I'm talking to my audience. The rest of you can leave right now. If you put 10 to 15% and no more than that into one idea, so you've got 30% in trading, 7 stocks, each stock has 10 to 15%. A 15 full percent position in one of those 7 is how much? 4.5%, right? 30% times 15 is 4.5. So one stock could go to fucking 0. In fact, 2 stocks at full position of 15% could go to 0. And according to my 3rd grade math, you'd have a 9% drawdown on that day. But if you're like some of these clowns that got all their money in Muln, which I'll get to in a second, didn't I say, by the way, before we do, didn't I say sell it yesterday at 54? I think I said that. You could lose all your money in 1 or 2 stocks as long as you got it mostly indexed and you're with a guy who's got a 129-2 track record. And that's a motherfucking fact. If you join us, go into the New Trades channel, scroll up about 27 miles. But we live in a what have you done for me lately, right? We got 4 or 5 stocks that we're down on. Okay, sell them all. What is that? 129-6. 96.7% win rate. Are you doing that well? Do you know anybody else out there that's charging a lot more than I am? If you save 25% by the year, it works out to $2.25 a day. $67.50 a month if you pay once a year. You know anybody that's got that kind of track record for less than a half a cup of fucking bloody terrific coffee, mate? No, you don't. And that's why I don't give a shit about the freeloaders. I'm talking to my audience. I'm trying to hang on to and get them inspired enough not only to carry through and weather this storm, but to refer their friends. So if I go on for 25 minutes, they're going to watch me. You don't have to. So I just gave you, ladies and gentlemen, one or two scenarios where you could lose 4.5% to as much as 9% from the top down, seeing two of your trading stocks go to zero. The people that are complaining or quitting, they're not doing the system. They don't have 70 or 80% indexed. They aren't buying a half a position as I recommend, and then adding small, a half to 1% of your cash at a time, 5, 10, 15, 20 times. You saw the news today. Warren Buffett just sold $250 million or thereabouts of Bank of America. Do your research. He was buying the stock at $2 a share during the 2008 and 9 recession. More than 50 times. He bought Apple more than 70 times. Just recently, after a 10-year hold, sold half of his position. Now, you got to ask yourself, why is the Oracle of Omaha blowing out? Well, I think personally, he knows the end is near, and he's trying to protect his legacy with a huge amount of cash. There may be some that he thinks, okay, we're topping out. The Fed's behind the curve. We're going to uninvert here, which means the recession is either imminent or in process as we speak. We don't edit around here, so if you're new, welcome. In closing, just listen to my advice. It's your account, it's your money. You get text in real time what I'm doing. We're doing a half a dozen videos every single day that you don't see. Somebody said yesterday, and I was going to make this point and I forgot. Aren't you worried that some of these people that are leaving are because you've trained them up too well? I don't think so. But if that is the case, because I teach you very basic technical analysis through the Yahoo Finance, and I'm actually thinking about getting a fancy camera now so I can do a screen share by way of Zoom so it looks more professional. And then I'll share some of those with the freeloaders on YouTube, maybe even X. But if you're going to leave because you think you know how to do this, great. Knock yourself out. Because when this market does bottom, I want you to come back to me 6 to 12 months from now, and you show the ledger that everyone else can see inside of our Discord, with photos, by the way, and we'll see who does better, you or me. As for you Mullen bag holders, last trade 27.5. And yes, I did say, not only in the Discord, but in video yesterday, to get out of Dodge, at least some of it with a tight stop at 54. If you pull up a 5-minute chart, and you really could have seen it with the 1-minute chart a couple days ago, somewhere around 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 100 million shares were for sale in a 12-minute period. Was that the insider that starts with E as in Edward, blowing out of all of his fucking stock? Probably. Did they cook up that rumor like some of you talked about that there was a merger on the horizon just to get it goosed up there so they can get the fuck out of Dodge and do a reverse split in the next 30 to 60 days? Maybe. But I did some digging, as I told in one of my Discord videos. How come the other side of the contract didn't have a direct quote related to Mullen? David had something to say about them, but how come they just had a broad statement, didn't mention anything about Mullen? And who the fuck ships vehicles overseas immediately when they're getting a $3 million deposit 60 days from now? Oh, I don't know. You wouldn't make something up Randy Marion style and use some tricky language with some fine print clauses to get the stock up to not only blow out of the insider position, but make it look somewhat presentable going into yet another reverse split, which many people think is not even possible because you've already fucked them in the ass too many times in the last few years? I sold the stock at 18 a year ago, and I told every single one of you to do the same. And in the last video, I said, if you were trading this stock from a quarter, you doubled your money, get the fuck out of Dodge and never look back. If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, sounds like a duck, it's probably a motherfucking duck. And with respect to the Crkn, I go back to what I've been saying now since day one. Actually, not day one. In the last few months, the CEO has no credibility. And I got a bonus special for those of you that stick around to the end. When you constantly add float by way of an ELOC, an equipment line of credit, it doesn't matter how big the pipeline is. It doesn't matter how many beautiful photos Boaz shares. It doesn't matter about the possibility or the potential of the lead pipe business. When you keep adding more and more supply and keep selling into every motherfucking news release for the last 6 to 12 months and beyond, and you refuse to address what you told us 6 to 9 months ago, and that was that you were going to get off the tit and go to a non-dilutive line of credit, is it any wonder that we're at yet another all-time low? That said, I was buying again this morning with what little money I have left. 175, I believe. I see it going by now at 170. That's an all-time low. The bonus special of the day is, and I will talk about this more later, nah. I'll save that for another video. Till next time. Always remember, I love you. And thank you very much for watching.